Hi everyone. Today we will discuss the Master and Apprentice relationships. From the popular franchise, Star Wars, keep in mind that these relationships are only canon. The legends aren't included. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Yoda, the legendary Jedi Grand Master, who led the Jedi Order through the time of the High Republic. He was trained by an unknown Jedi Master when he was young. He showed him how to live peacefully. It is rumored that during his early days, Yoda was also taught by Nkata del Gormo, who was a Hysalrian. Garo taught Yoda the ways of stone power, a component of the Force that could only be attained by being near blue stone, a kind of stone that was infused with the living Force, when they were inside a mountain that they found to be alive. Yoda taught Count Dooku the Jedi philosophy, lightsaber forms, Force control, and Jedi diplomacy. He served as a Jedi Master during the final era of the Galactic Republic before returning to his noble lineage as Count of House Sereno. Disheartened by the Jedi Order and the Republic's decline, he turned to the dark side and became the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Tyrannus. Yoda supervised and indirectly trained Lula Talasola, who is a Jedi Padawan, during field missions, such as the Legacy Run incident near Triment 4. As Grand Master of the Jedi Order and a senior instructor, Yoda mentored Chin Dralig. He was a Jedi Master who held the esteemed roles of Battle Master and Chief of Security at the Jedi Temple during the Clone Wars. As the head of the Jedi Temple Guard and a legendary lightsaber instructor, he trained generations of Jedi in the ways of combat. His life was tragically cut short by Darth Vader during the brutal assault on the Temple in Order 66. Yoda trained Ki-Adi-Mundi during his early years in the Jedi Order. He later became a member of the Jedi High Council during the latter decades of the Galactic Republic. He was also killed by Darth Vader in Order 66. As Grand Master of the Jedi Order and a senior instructor, Yoda mentored Mace Windu. He taught him the Jedi Code, early lightsaber forms, control, peace, and connection with the living Force. Yoda taught Kantam Sai. He was one of the rare Padawans Yoda took on personally. He taught him lightsaber mastery, Force philosophy, and field judgment. Yoda did not personally train Reva Savander, who is also known as the Third Sister, but as Grand Master of the Jedi Order, he certainly oversaw her early Jedi instructions. Yoda personally trained Obi-Wan Kenobi, the legendary Jedi Master, during his early years at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. Before he became a Padawan, he taught him lightsaber skills, the Force, Jedi Code and ethics, philosophy, and teamwork. After completing his early training under Yoda as a youngling, Mace Windu was trained as a Padawan by Sislin Mir, a Mirialan Jedi Master. She assisted him in controlling his violent tendencies, honing his lightsaber techniques, and cultivating his self-control. After rescuing Lula Talasola on Naboo during their walkabout from the Jedi Order, Kantam Sai took her as his Padawan and trained her under the supervision of Yoda during the High Republic era. Count Dooku trained Qui-Gon Jinn as a Padawan, emphasizing discipline, philosophical study, and Force mastery. He admired Qui-Gon's honesty and independent thinking and introduced him to Jedi history, prophecy, and real-world missions. Their relationship developed Qui-Gon into a smart and unusual Jedi, yet they later differed in their paths. Count Dooku taught General Grievous in lightsaber combat shortly before the Clone Wars. Grievous, having been rebuilt as a cyborg, was given the ability to battle Jedi. Despite not being Force-sensitive, Dooku taught him Jedi tactics and dueling techniques, transforming him into a lethal Jedi murderer and the feared leader. Count Dooku trained Savage Opress as a Sith assassin and enforcer for the Separatists. After Opress was chosen by the Night Sisters and magically improved by Mother Talzin, Dooku brought him on as an apprentice to replace Asajj Ventress. Dooku trained Asajj Ventress in dark side Force abilities and lightsaber warfare to serve as his assassin during the Clone Wars. Though she was not a true Sith, she became a strong enforcer who hunted Jedi and carried out secret missions, until Dooku betrayed her on Darth Sidious's orders. Dooku briefly trained Quinlan Vos in the dark side after Vos went undercover to assassinate him. During this time, Dooku taught him Sith combat techniques and tried to break his Jedi morals, pushing Vos toward the dark side. Rael Averroes was Count Dooku's first Padawan, taught in lightsaber combat, philosophy, and diplomacy. Dooku sought to transform him into a capable Jedi Knight, but Rael's emotional issues and unconventional ideas caused friction between them, foreshadowing Dooku's eventual departure from the Jedi Order. During the latter days of the Clone Wars, Qui-Gon Jinn, as a Force spirit, taught Yoda how to keep his identity after death, guiding him on the path to becoming one with the Force. Viscus did not personally teach Savage Opress, but he oversaw the trials that led to his selection by the Night Sisters. He was the one who led a Night Brother clan on Dathomir in the early years of the Galactic Empire and the Clone Wars. Asajj Ventress was trained by Kai Narek, a Jedi who found her on Ratatak as a child and raised her as a Padawan. He mentored her in lightsaber combat and Jedi teachings. Ventress's sadness and wrath over his death in combat drove her to the dark side and into the service of Count Dooku. Qui-Gon Jinn trained Obi-Wan Kenobi, the legendary Jedi Master, as a Padawan from the age of 13 until his death. He taught him lightsaber combat, diplomacy, and to believe in the living Force, emphasizing freedom and compassion above strict Jedi regulations. Their bond transformed Obi-Wan into a wise and balanced Jedi. Luke Skywalker received Jedi training from Obi-Wan Kenobi, who also taught him the fundamentals of lightsaber use and the Force. Even though they didn't spend much time together, Obi-Wan was the one who set Luke on the path to becoming a Jedi and carrying on the Skywalker legacy. On planet Dagobah, Yoda taught Luke Skywalker in Jedi philosophy, controlling his emotions and the ways of the Force. Even though it was short, the instruction was essential to Luke's development as a Jedi and preparing him for facing Darth Vader. Obi-Wan Kenobi trained Anakin Skywalker after the death of Qui-Gon Jinn. He taught him the Jedi discipline, lightsaber combat, and Force control, transforming him from a young Padawan into a Jedi Knight. Despite their close relationship, Anakin's increasing inner conflict and rebellion weakened their relationship. Yoda, despite not being Anakin Skywalker's master, trained him in the Jedi Temple and provided personal assistance. As Grandmaster, Yoda taught Anakin about fear and attachment, giving advice that Anakin eventually discarded on his journey to the dark side. After becoming Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker began training the Inquisitorius, teaching them lightsaber combat, Jedi hunting methods, and enforcing severe discipline to assist the Empire in eliminating remaining Jedi. Anakin Skywalker trained a Lady Korvax's descendant on Mustafar during the early Empire era. His goal was to exploit their Force sensitivity to harness the power of the Bright Star, a potent Mustafarian artifact. This occurred shortly before the events in A New Hope. Anakin trained Ahsoka Tano during the Clone Wars when she was assigned to him as a Padawan. He taught her lightsaber combat, leadership, and creative thinking, developing her into a skilled and confident Jedi who frequently challenged the Order's expectations. Following the fall of the Empire, Ahsoka Tano trained Sabine Wren as her apprentice. Due to Sabine's emotional difficulties and low Force sensitivity, their training was put on hold, but it eventually resumed. She learned Jedi discipline, lightsaber combat, and how to connect with the Force from Ahsoka. Luke Skywalker taught Hennix, a Quarren Jedi student, at his Jedi Temple on Ossus. He taught him how to connect with the Force, study ancient Jedi wisdom, and unlock holocrons. Under Luke's guidance, Hennix was noted for his logical thinking and keen sense of curiosity. Luke Skywalker trained Tai at the Jedi Temple. Luke taught him lightsaber combat, meditation, and Force techniques, drawing on the wisdom passed down from Yoda and Obi-Wan. Luke Skywalker trained Vo alongside Tai and Hennix. He taught her the ways of the Force and lightsaber combat, but her training ended abruptly when Ben Solo destroyed the Jedi Temple. Luke Skywalker trained Ben Solo as a Jedi from a young age in his new Jedi Temple. Aiming to revive the Jedi Order, Ben later turned to the dark side, becoming Kylo Ren and destroying the temple. After the collapse of the Empire, Luke taught Leia Organa the Jedi art. She abandoned her training early, predicting a dark future, yet she remained strong in the Force and subsequently guided Rey. Luke taught Din Grogu the ways of the Force, including meditation, focus, and Jedi precepts. Grogu showed promise, but ultimately chose to return to Din Djarin, prioritizing their friendship over the Jedi path. Luke briefly trained Rey on the planet Ahch-To, teaching her the fundamentals of the Force and lightsaber combat. Though worried at first, He guided her understanding of the Jedi and the balance of the Force, putting her on track to become a Jedi. Kelleran Beq assisted Grogu in escaping the Jedi Temple during the Jedi Purge. Though not his formal master, Beq protected and mentored Grogu during a vital period, guaranteeing his survival as the Jedi were hunted. Following Luke's death, Leia Organa instructed Rey in Jedi and the Force. She guided Rey with knowledge and compassion, allowing her to become stronger as a Jedi. Darth Sidious indirectly trained and controlled Ben Solo through Supreme Leader Snoke, a dark side entity created and controlled by Darth Sidious, feeding Ben his anger, fear, and ambition to shape him as a dark side apprentice and successor. Darth Sidious taught Anakin Skywalker by feeding his fear and anger, turning him into Darth Vader. He trained him in the dark side to serve as his powerful Sith apprentice and enforcer. Snoke was a puppet created and controlled by Darth Sidious to carry out his will from the shadows. He ruled the First Order as supreme leader during the New Republic era, and was regarded as a mysterious seeker of ancient lore with a malevolent nature from the unknown regions. Darth Sidious taught Darth Maul on the dark side since childhood, teaching him battle, stealth, and Sith skills to become a fearsome Sith assassin. Darth Maul taught Dryden Voss in combat and underworld techniques. After enlisting him in the criminal world, Maul improved Voss's combat abilities, strategy, and leadership, transforming him into a formidable criminal boss within the Shadow Collective. Darth Maul briefly trained Qi'ra in martial and dark side methods to help her survive and fight in the criminal underworld. Using her abilities, she became a powerful crime lord and ruled the Crimson Dawn Syndicate. Maul taught Opress about lightsaber, the dark side of the Force, and Sith teachings, turning him into a formidable warrior and partner in his quest for vengeance. Darth Sidious taught Dooku the dark side when he quit the Jedi Order. He taught him Sith philosophy, deception, and power. Dooku became Darth Tyrannus, assisting Sidious with the rise of the Separatists and the fall of the Jedi. Darth Plagueis secretly taught Darth Sidious in the dark side, teaching him Sith philosophy, political intrigue, and the quest for dominance over life and death. Sidious later betrayed and murdered him, as is Sith practice. Darth Plagueis was secretly taught by Darth Tenebrous. He specialized him in the dark side mastery, Sith philosophy, and long-term manipulation. He trained him harshly, knowing that he would eventually betray and replace him. That was all in the Star Wars Master and Apprentice Relationships. Thanks for watching. See you all in next video. Till then, take care.